Throughout the development and casting process of WandaVision, there was plenty of details in casting that we saw that we know for a fact were going to be an element of the series, and then nothing ended up happening. We know that eventually multiple episodes and ideas were cut, and maybe this was part of the process. But now we're going to talk about Speed and Wiccan, and why they never really reached the age to be part of the Young Avengers. When it came to the casting process of WandaVision, we know for a fact due to casting calls and leaks that they were looking to cast older versions of Speed and Wiccan. Now, ultimately, we didn't end up getting that, and who knows what the decision behind this was. It could have been that they didn't want to do it yet. It could have been that they wanted to explore this element in the future, maybe in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or somewhere else with Wanda down the road, or maybe they just decided that they don't want those characters to be a part of the Young Avengers, which we know that they are building up. So in an interview with E.T., Matt Shankman was asked about these questions, and he said that there was plenty of reasons here, but they couldn't really go into everything or explain, and they couldn't really touch upon that now because of certain limitations on what they're allowed to say, but also that right now it's just not the correct time to put that type of character with that type of age into the show that they were setting up. And my guess, and this is just my guess, the younger you are, the more vulnerable you are, right? So when you go to the ending of WandaVision, where she's looking into the multiverse, if you have younger Young Avengers, then if they're screaming for help, it puts a bigger sense of urgency to go after them because they're a little lost out there and they're screaming for help. If you have a bunch of teenagers, 16 to 18 years old, if they're asking for help, well, they can actually get out of situations. They're, more knowledgeable of the world. They've had a experience growing up. They've seen what some of the elements that the real world has to offer. The younger you are, the more innocent you are, and you haven't been corrupted. And I think that ultimately plays into it. And I think that's why they're not allowed to say what the ideas were, because we're going to explore these elements in the Multiverse of Madness, and we're going to see what it leads Wanda to do, what exactly is the future for these characters, and once we get them there and they're still a little bit younger, then the next time we see them in a couple years, we see what they've been through, and now they've had an experience that can shape their future. I'm not saying that that's what's gonna happen, but it makes sense because that's what it seems like needs to happen.